Tina vlogging, and tonight is kind of late actually. It's Friday, so we finished the week. I did 3.5 days of working from home, which is kind of cool. I actually enjoyed it. It's nice being at home. But my partner and I both have off tomorrow, so we had a movie night. We watched Invisible Man, which was pretty good. I'm not usually into scary movies, but it was good. Elizabeth Moss is in it, and I really like her as an actress. Anyways, the point that I want to talk about was, well, it's kind of a long story, and I kind of don't want to do a very long vlog, but I'll just give you the very gist of it, just to give some context of the point that I want to move forward with. So this fills in the blank too of why last summer I started publishing a lot of vlogs. I think starting in like July or August for a few months. I did a lot of like how I quit smoking vlogs, and I did like a bunch of voice recorded vlogs, and then I just did some other random vlogs. And then I stopped abruptly, partially because I had just started school, and with work I was super busy, but also because just before Halloween I found out I was pregnant, and my husband and I had been trying for a few months, and we finally got pregnant, and we were super excited. And I had recorded some vlogs talking about the experience, but I wasn't going to publish it until we were in the second trimester. And unfortunately we didn't make it to that, because the first ultrasound that we had, which I was supposed to be 9 weeks, we found out that the heartbeat hadn't developed or wasn't beating, and so I basically had a miscarriage, they called it. I hadn't actually miscarried yet, but the fetus was still inside, and it took another couple weeks for the body to expel it. So I was dealing with that, and it was a hard thing to process, and I will perhaps go into more detail in other vlogs about that experience. I did write a vlog, which I'll share in the description. But so that's why I kind of went silent on YouTube for a while, and vlogging and sharing and stuff, because I was just busy processing that and going to school and going to work, and yeah, so that was the beginning of December, and so we're now in the middle of March, and we're trying again. And the point that I wanted to share here was that I noticed this time around I have a lot more concern and wanting to control getting pregnant. So I'm very aware of when my cycle starts and when it ends, and when is my window of fertility, when I'm ovulating or when the egg is produced. I got an app on my phone to track it, and I'm just way more calculating when is the right time to do this. And it's a much different experience than the last time we tried, which was basically we decided that we were no longer going to prevent pregnancy, and that was the only thing that changed. We weren't tracking anything, we weren't calculating when we were going to, try to get pregnant. It was just, we carried on with our lives as it was. The only thing we stopped doing was preventing it, and it happened within 4 months. And it was fun and enjoyable and a little scary, because we decided to have, get pregnant, which I had never done before, so that was kind of scary, but otherwise it was really just relaxed, and I had no anxiety within me. I had no worry about, am I gonna get pregnant, am I not gonna get pregnant, when am I gonna get pregnant, how am I gonna, there was no point of concern within me. I just stopped the prevention basically. And this time around I notice I'm just, like I said, I got the app, I'm tracking when I'm ovulating, I'm tracking the best time to have sex. So then when you get your period, it's all the effort, all that worry, all that concern, all that attempt to try to control to make sure that this happened failed, because then you get your period and you're none of that worked. And it's really, and I would say that my experience is probably very mild to what I've heard some other women's experiences. And I understand that want to get pregnant. I get that. But I think that we cause ourselves more stress when we try to force it instead of just allowing it to happen naturally. So for me, I noticed this week, especially because we were coming up to when my period was due and I wasn't getting it, but I was testing negative for being pregnant, and I noticed this fear come up within me of like, I'm not gonna get pregnant, and like all the reasons as to why. And I just realized that I don't want this to be how I conceive, in fear and control and wanting to control to get myself pregnant. I don't want that to be who I am or what I'm doing when I conceive a child. I want to be how it was before, where I was like walking with trust that me and my partner have decided to enter this phase of our life where we bring a child into this world, and we're just gonna trust that we are where we need to be, and that's why it's opened up for us to want to move forward with it and to like walk with that trust that life, that we are life and life will come through as it comes through. And maybe we won't have children, maybe that's not in our cards, maybe that's not best for us. And there is a level of me accepting that if that's what's actually best, then I can live with that, because I do want to create what's best for all. And if that means that we're not going to have children, then so be it. There is another point then for us. If that means we are going to have children, great. But it's just that point of letting go of the need to control, to create a pregnancy, and instead just like live your life and direct yourself day to day without needing to force something to happen. It's just that point of walking with trust that what will happen will be determined on how I direct myself, but it is also part of it's in life's hands, and I trust life. And I trust myself, and I trust that whatever happens or doesn't happen, I am here to fulfill my utmost potential and to create my utmost potential within who I am and how I live, and with or without children, that's my purpose for this life. And so it's cool, because that is where I want to be, and that's now where I'm bringing myself back to, because like I said, this week I've just come up with so many fears and so many worries about if I'm gonna get pregnant, or thinking I'm not gonna get pregnant, I'm too old to get pregnant, I don't have any eggs left, I'm gonna go through menopause. Like, I literally thought as a 34-year-old woman that I'm going through menopause right now, which some women might, but chances are I'm not going through menopause. Obviously, I got my period, so newsflash. So it's just interesting how, like, the mind can throw a lot at you, but it is all about who you are in relation to these points. And so what this fear and what these thoughts were telling me was that I was approaching the pregnancy not in a harmonious way. I was approaching it with fear and in conflict. I wasn't trusting life, and I wasn't trusting myself. And so I actually did a lot of self-forgiveness on the point, and shed a lot of tears and let go of a lot of that fear energy, and basically let go, and am now practicing on bringing myself back to me and my day-to-day living and my interaction with my partner, and making that my focus. Who am I in my days? It's not about me getting pregnant, it's about me living my utmost potential every single day. And we're not going to prevent pregnancy, and if it happens, great, and if it doesn't, okay. We will continue, and we will, continue to direct ourselves to the best of our ability. So I just wanted to share that point. Any women out there who are struggling to get pregnant, I encourage you to maybe step back and look at who are you in trying to get pregnant, and is there a level of control or force you're imposing on it, and is that maybe causing more stress than need be? Is there another way? So that's all I have to share for tonight. Day 15 of vlogging. Thanks for listening and for walking with, and I will definitely continue to share my pregnancy journey as we go. And yeah, thanks for walking with. See you next time. Or see you tomorrow, actually, on day 16.
But it's on.